Have you ever seen, they just recently made images of quantum entangled photons? Take a look at what this looks like. Quantum entangled.
Imagine this. What if your brain didn't just communicate through electrical impulses and chemical reactions, but through quantum mechanics? What if your very thoughts, the ones that define who you are, were somehow linked to someone else's thoughts, transcending space and time? Today, we're diving into a discovery that feels like it was pulled straight from the plot of a science fiction epic. Neuroscientists have recently uncovered compelling evidence suggesting quantum entanglement may be occurring in human brain waves. This revelation is staggering. Quantum entanglement, famously referred to by Einstein as spooky action at a distance, has now been observed in one of the most unexpected places, the human brain. Through a series of groundbreaking studies, researchers have found that brain waves may demonstrate entangled behavior, hinting that the connection between human minds could be far more mysterious than we've ever imagined. So, what does this mean for us? If our brain waves can indeed become entangled, could that be the scientific explanation behind phenomena like telepathy or shared emotional experiences? Could it mean that our thoughts have the ability to link with others, regardless of distance? These questions aren't just thought-provoking, they are potentially revolutionary. As fantastical as it may sound, the research is grounded in rigorous science. Using advanced brain imaging tools and quantum-level measurement techniques, scientists have observed neural activity patterns that defy traditional explanations. In controlled experiments, participants were exposed to specific stimuli while their brain activity was monitored using high-resolution EEGs and quantum sensors. What emerged were synchronized wave patterns not only within individual brains but also between separate individuals. These patterns resembled those seen in quantum-entangled particles, objects that remain mysteriously connected, even when separated by great distances. This discovery challenges long-held beliefs about the separation between quantum mechanics and human biology. For decades, quantum effects were believed to exist only in the realm of subatomic particles, far removed from the world of neurons and synapses. Yet, this new research blurs those boundaries. In carefully structured experiments, simultaneous brain activity was recorded from individuals in different parts of the lab. Under certain conditions, their brain patterns began to align in ways that couldn't be explained by coincidence or shared sensory input. This synchronization suggests something extraordinary, a possible quantum-level connection between minds. While scientists are still exploring the full implications, the early findings are profound. If our brains truly function, at least in part, as quantum systems, then the idea of instantaneous, non-local communication may not belong solely to science fiction. It could be a real, observable phenomenon. This isn't just theoretical anymore. It's a tangible development that's redefining the limits of both neuroscience and quantum physics. Take a moment to consider what this could mean. If brain waves can become entangled, we might be on the verge of understanding consciousness in ways that were once deemed impossible. We could one day uncover the science behind shared intuition, unspoken understanding, or even the mysterious sense of knowing what someone else is thinking. Imagine a future where thoughts, emotions, or even memories can be exchanged instantly between individuals, a future where communication itself is fundamentally transformed. This discovery could reshape our understanding of human connection. We've long viewed the brain as a system driven by slow-moving electrical and chemical signals. But if quantum processes play a role, it's possible our minds are capable of forming connections that happen in an instant, perhaps even accounting for the more enigmatic elements of human experience. To uncover this phenomenon, scientists utilized a sophisticated combination of high-resolution EEGs and quantum sensors, devices sensitive enough to detect effects typically observed only at the atomic level. These experiments were conducted in carefully shielded environments to eliminate any interference from external electromagnetic fields. When specific stimuli were introduced, researchers noticed a remarkable pattern: the brain waves of different participants began to mirror one another. And this synchronization persisted even when the individuals were placed in separate, isolated rooms. These patterns were not random, they were deliberate, consistent, and could not be explained by classical models of neuroscience. Instead, they point to something deeper, something that may forever change how we view consciousness, the brain, and the very nature of human thought. the brain may naturally utilize quantum entanglement, enabling connections that transcend physical distance and traditional communication methods. This could help explain why some individuals seem to share an unspoken connection, how two people can feel emotionally or mentally aligned without exchanging a word or even being in the same location. Though this research is still in its early stages and requires further verification, the notion that quantum processes play a role in brain function is becoming increasingly difficult to dismiss. Let's pause for a moment and take in the bigger picture. What if this is the real science behind telepathic experiences? Could it mean that human consciousness is already part of a vast, interconnected system, one we've only begun to uncover? Imagine that we're not thinking in isolation, but as part of a larger, invisible quantum network. A web of minds, quietly interacting beyond the limits of space and time. Before we dive deeper into the science, take a moment to reflect on this idea and share your thoughts. Your insights could contribute to a conversation that might help bring this discovery into the mainstream. At the core of this concept is quantum entanglement, a phenomenon well documented in physics, where particles become linked in such a way that any change to one instantly affects the other, regardless of distance. It completely defies the rules of classical physics and even challenged Einstein, who famously called it spooky action at a distance. In classical science, information weakens over distance and travels at finite speeds. But in the quantum realm, entangled particles remain in perfect sync, no matter how far apart they are. So how does this relate to the brain? If regions within a brain, or even separate human brains, can become entangled, we may be witnessing a mechanism that allows for instantaneous, non-local communication. In experimental setups where multiple participants were exposed to identical stimuli under controlled conditions, researchers observed not just individual brain responses, but synchronized wave patterns. These patterns closely mirrored those found in entangled quantum systems, suggesting that something beyond classical neuroscience is at play. This potential quantum behavior in the brain could have staggering implications. It may redefine not just neuroscience, but our entire understanding of human consciousness and how we relate to one another. We're not just asking if the brain uses quantum entanglement anymore, we're beginning to ask, what's next? And what we're discovering might only scratch the surface of something much bigger. If quantum mechanics are indeed integral to how the brain functions, it forces us to reconsider long-held assumptions about cognition. Neuroscience has traditionally relied on classical physics to explain how neurons fire and interact. But these new insights suggest that understanding the brain may require a quantum lens. This shift could revolutionize how we diagnose and treat neurological disorders. If quantum coherence plays a critical role in brain function, disruptions in these processes might underlie conditions like depression, anxiety, or cognitive decline, not just imbalances in brain chemicals, but imbalances in quantum states. This could lead to therapies and technologies that harness quantum links between minds, enabling new forms of communication or healing that were once confined to science fiction. Imagine cognitive enhancement systems or mental health treatments built around restoring or synchronizing quantum coherence. In this view, the human brain is not a standalone machine but a node within a vast, interconnected quantum matrix. And the implications stretch even further. If our brains tap into quantum mechanics naturally, this insight could reshape the future of artificial intelligence and quantum computing. Imagine AI systems inspired not by classical algorithms but by the quantum behavior of human thought, capable of intuition, creativity, and collective awareness. In quantum computing, understanding how the brain maintains entangled states could influence new architectures, computing models that mimic the brain's mysterious non-local correlations to achieve enhanced processing power and efficiency. Finally, consider this: the most profound idea of all may be that our minds are not just influenced by quantum processes, they may be quantum in nature. This isn't just about improving brain scans or collecting better data. It's about redefining what it means to be human in a quantum universe. If brain waves truly become entangled, then every thought, every emotion, and every perception could be part of a greater quantum field. In this scenario, the individuality we take for granted may be more of an illusion than we think. Rather than existing as separate, isolated minds, we may be in constant interaction with a hidden, entangled network, a shared consciousness we're only beginning to perceive. As we wrap up this deep dive into the quantum nature of the human brain, one truth becomes undeniable: we are standing at the edge of a scientific revolution. The emerging evidence of quantum entanglement in brain waves doesn't just challenge our traditional understanding, it invites us into a new frontier, where neuroscience, quantum physics, and philosophy converge in unexpected and transformative ways. Let's revisit what we've uncovered. First, the shocking discovery: neuroscientists have identified brain wave patterns that mirror the characteristics of quantum entanglement. Then came the experimental proof. Using high-resolution EEG technology and quantum-sensitive instruments, researchers observed non-local correlations in neural activity, signals that defy the explanations provided by classical science. If these findings are confirmed, the implications are profound. Human consciousness may need to be redefined. Our approach to treating neurological and psychological disorders could be revolutionized. Even the future of artificial intelligence and computing might be reshaped by the realization that the brain doesn't just behave like a machine, but like a quantum system capable of entanglement, non-locality, and perhaps even instant communication across vast distances. But the vision goes beyond the lab. This discovery suggests something larger, something that binds us all. As science pushes deeper into the mysteries of the mind, we may come to realize that our greatest tool for exploring the universe isn't just a telescope or particle collider, it's the human mind itself, powered by quantum processes we are only beginning to comprehend. This leads us to one of the most profound questions of our time: are our minds truly independent, or are they entangled within a vast, invisible quantum network that connects all conscious beings? Every step in this journey has shattered assumptions and encouraged us to imagine a future where the lines between science and philosophy blur into something entirely new, a future where the boundaries between mind, matter, and mystery dissolve. As we conclude this exploration, one thing is clear: the possibility that our brain waves exhibit quantum entanglement could fundamentally transform everything we know about consciousness. And this, remarkably, is just the beginning. What other secrets lie hidden in the complex geometry of our neural architecture? What revelations still wait, just beyond the limits of what we can currently detect or describe? If these ideas captivate you as they do us, we invite you to join the conversation. Subscribe for more journeys into the unknown, where science, technology, and the mysteries of existence converge. Your engagement keeps this dialogue alive and growing. Now, we turn the question over to you: could it be that our brains are not isolated systems, but portals to a greater quantum reality? Are we unknowingly part of a cosmic network, where thoughts, emotions, and experiences connect across the fabric of space and time? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your voice could be the spark that inspires the next breakthrough. Thank you for being part of this mind-expanding journey. Stay curious. Stay connected. And above all, keep questioning what you believe is possible. In this video, we've traveled from an astonishing scientific claim, quantum entanglement in human brain waves, to the experimental evidence supporting it, and into the incredible possibilities it could unlock. But this isn't just a video, it's an invitation. An invitation to question, explore, and participate in the search for deeper truths about who we are, how we think, and how we may be connected in ways science is only beginning to measure. Imagine a future where neuroscience is no longer bound by the rules of classical physics. A future where every neuron is part of a quantum web, linking human minds across time and space. Where treatments for mental health go beyond neurotransmitters and chemicals, and instead restore coherence to quantum-level disruptions. Where communication is instantaneous, intuitive, and unbounded by language or distance. Each experiment brings us closer to this vision: a mind not as a machine, but as part of a living, conscious network embedded in the very fabric of the universe. The implications are staggering. The possibilities, limitless. And the journey? It has only just begun. So come with us, as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the mind, one quantum leap at a time. Let's celebrate curiosity, embrace the unknown, and unlock truths that have waited in the shadows for far too long. Your curiosity is more than welcome here. It may even be the key to what comes next. Thank you for watching, and remember, reality is stranger than we think. And with every discovery, we move one step closer to understanding the extraordinary design behind it all.